0.07%. This was the percentage of people who actually received a payout based on stats provided by a prop firm, one of the biggest prop firms in this space at the time as well. And the reason you clicked on this video is because you want to be one person in that 0.07%. And I'm going to break down how you can become a trader that isn't part of that 99.93% of people. So the main reason people fail is because they hit the drawdown. As we know, that is the only way to fail. It's not that 99% of these people are trading news and breaching it. It's not that they are merging their accounts or copy trading. The vast majority of traders failing these challenges and not getting to the payout phase is because they're hitting the drawdown. So how do we avoid this and how do we go about getting payouts? Well, that's what I'm going to talk to in today's video, so you can hopefully join me and many other traders in this small percentile of elite traders, I would say, that are able to receive prop firm payouts. These stats might have increased over the past few years, just based on the fact that prop firms are actually easier to pass than they were previously, mainly fueled by the removal of the minimum trading days. We also have a reduction in the profit targets, mainly on both phases. Previously, they were set at 10% for phase 1, 5% for phase 2. You'll notice that most firms now are 8% and then 4%, or even 8% and then 5%. And as you can see, you have to make 2 or 3% less profit to actually reach the funded account stage. So it might be a bit easier for you watching this video now as it was before when these stats actually came out. I remember personally having to wait 20 days of minimum trading before you could even get onto the challenge phase. So you'd have to wait at least 20 days to pass, 30 days for a payout. So it'd be 50 days from your first trade that you could possibly get paid. Whereas now that just is not the case. So before we actually jump into the video here, you guys are probably thinking, what does he know about trading with prop firms? Well, I'm going to quickly show you some of my payouts. As you see here, 10K, 7K, 4K, 5K. As you see here, I was number 2 on the leaderboards with $24,900 in profit on this one account. As you see here, I had a $30,000 day and a $20,000 in the same day. I made $50,000 in one trading day. We have FTMO payouts, 2 6K payouts, another 5.9K, and a 5K, 5.7, 16K, 19K, 20K. You know, we have all these payouts that I can basically prove that I know what I'm talking about. And obviously, if you want to learn how I trade, you can check out the link below to my mentorship. A lot of people in the mentorship are getting payouts too. So obviously, if you want to become one of those people that is getting payouts, like the people I'm showing you on the screen here, all of these payouts, as you see, thousands and thousands of dollars, amassed over $350,000 in payouts just from mentorship members in the past couple of years alone. And yeah, check out our link in the description. So what we need to do is work out your stats for your strategy. And this is very simple. We want to create a plan that basically prepares for the worst. You're going to have your percentage return here, and you're going to have your trade number on the horizontal axis here. And what we need to have is basically a strategy that is more like this rather than a strategy that is like like this. Obviously, this is an over-exaggeration of the equity graph, but you get the idea. You don't want massive ups and downs. You don't want a full mountain valley. You know, if you're going skiing, you look out and there's a mountain, you do not want your equity graph to look like that. You want it to be a nice, even gradient. You know, I haven't done maths in many, many years, so I'm unsure on the actual equation for that line. But you want it to kind of fit like this. And this is obviously based on standard deviation, if you guys know what that is. But that's for a different video. So the way we actually do this and the way that this is the best to trade with prop firms is you don't have massive max drawdowns. And the reason this is important is obviously the max drawdown for most prop firms is 10%. And we obviously have the daily drawdown of 5%. But in my opinion, if you are hitting the daily drawdown, you should quit trading. You should never, ever hit the daily drawdown if it's not intentional. Unintentionally, people can hit it with slippage or certain scenarios. I had it before with a trade copy that messed up, but that's out of my control, and it could be out of your control too. Based on your own trades, you should never even be remotely close to the max daily drawdown. I see the side of people saying, why have a 5% max daily drawdown if I can't use up to 5%? But it's so easy to go over it. If you're trading to 4.5% or 4.9% even, very, very easy to go over it with slippage or, commissions that you didn't add up. Very, very easy mistake to make. So you don't want to be doing that. The reason why this is so important to not hit that is we get an extra 5% of drawdown if we don't hit it daily. So if you hit the daily drawdown, you've only used half of your overall available drawdown allowance, which is terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Use the 10%. It's that simple. Use the 10% and not the 5%. If you're allowed 10% drawdown, use the 10% and not the 5%. Obviously, you're just paying for half the drawdown. Very, very silly. So when we're actually using this is obviously our focus here, and we're going to tailor our strategy and our risk based on this. So this is obviously a perfect scenario for your equity graph, but is this realistic for you watching? Probably not. You're most likely going to have something like this, maybe something like this if you have a very, very good strategy, but you're going to have these losing kind of streaks. And during these streaks, you're going to be in drawdown. You're going to be losing money, and we need to prepare for the worst. So let's do a hypothetical here. Let's get another color and we'll move all the way over here. So we know that the max daily drawdown is 10%, as you see. So that is the max that we can actually hit. Let's say your strategy has a max drawdown per year of 3%. We now know that we can comfortably risk 1% and never hit the daily drawdown or the max overall drawdown. Because on the max losing streak, we're going to lose 3%. And we should always take the max, because if on average you lose 2 trades and then you obviously calculate your risk for those 2 trades, you then take a challenge. What if you hit the max? You've then blown it. I would always prepare for the worst case scenario if you are a trader who isn't rich. And when I say isn't rich, I mean doesn't have cash ready to invest into prop firms, challenges here and there, basically scaling. Someone that spends their hard-earned money on prop firm challenges and doesn't trade them like I do with higher risk because I have the capital at my disposal to actually use that higher risk. So that's definitely something you should consider. But let's say your strategy, let's change color, has let's go with 8% max drawdown. I would not use 1%. And this is going to sound very, very silly for some people listening, because 8% is obviously lower than 10%. But what you need to consider is spread, commission, and slippage. Spread, commission, and slippage are 3 things that people completely neglect when they are back testing. They completely neglect it when they are calculating their risk for personal accounts and even prop firm challenges. When you have a fixed overall drawdown limit, you need to take into consideration any expense that's going to affect that drawdown. Let's say it's very minor and you're losing 0.05% or 0.1% per trade. And the reason why I'm saying this is minor is because prop firms notoriously have very, very bad conditions, and they have this for a reason. They don't want you to pass, obviously. They want you to fail. They collect your failed challenge fee, and they want you to retry. So if they give you the worst conditions possible, then this is going to help them fail you. So I would not risk 1% on this. I would prefer to risk 0.75% or 0.5%. So we have 0.5, 0.75 on this here. And the reason why I'm saying this is that you don't want to go into a prop firm knowing that there's a chance that you're going to fail relatively easily. You want a fail to be out of the ordinary. And I'm saying this for the average trader. If it was me, I would obviously go in with higher risk because I'm comfortable losing 2 or 3 challenges before passing and getting a payout because I know a payout will kind of pay for the failed challenges. For the majority of people, this is the way you should be doing it. Calculating a worst case scenario and then going from there. So let's say you have an overall drawdown of 10%. As you guys probably can guess, I'm not going to go in with 1% risk, even though 10%, 10%. As I mentioned, things are going to happen: slippage, spread, commission. So what I do is I go in 0.5%. And this just basically gives you the peace of mind that if you do everything correctly with your strategy, if you trade the plan perfectly, if you execute and basically don't put a foot wrong, the chances of you actually blowing the account is very, very slim. I'm not saying that this is going to pass you very, very quickly. I've obviously done videos on my channel passing in 20 minutes, passing in an hour or 2 hours. And this does give people unrealistic expectations because they're not in the same shoes as me. They can't use the same risk. They can't risk the same capital I'm risking. But this is how you actually go about it for the average trader. Focusing on the worst case scenario is the best way. Firstly, it protects your capital, protects your mindset as well, because failing challenges is always bad. When you fail the challenge, you then have to buy another one. The money leaves your bank. You then have to put in the new login credentials on your broker, and everything's just very annoying starting from zero again. And I know what it's like. So if you can protect your downside and never fail again, you can fail. Obviously, I'm not saying it's a bad thing to fail because, as we know, the majority of people do fail. The best traders I know fail prop firm challenges or blow their funded accounts. I've been there. You guys watching have probably been there too. But this is the way to ensure that you don't fail by calculating your max overall drawdown per year or over the last 2 or 3 years, and then adopting a risk approach based on that. So if you found this useful, be sure to let me know, and I'll catch you guys next time.